Are you in the zone?
No,
Can you hear us?
Yep, we're all good.
check.
All right, welcome back to Another Dimension. I'm Quinn.
I'm Trask.
Taylor in the back.
Hi,
Hey,
Taylor.
Hey,
Hi.
Taylor.
What's going on today?
Nothing. You guys tell me. I'm just here to observe.
Well, we're sticking true to our New Year's resolution. First full week, and we are still in the studio. You guys are going to have to hold us accountable.
Guess there's something to be said for that.
Right.
Not much to say for that, but
Why? That's a big commitment.
You guys know it isn't easy.
No,
We've tried
it's
it
not.
in the past. Doing it every week is it's why most people abandon it at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, schedules, stuff changes. I mean, it's hard to do, but we're going to do it.
but 125 people stuck with us last week.
Yeah. I don't know if they stuck with us. They saw us. I don't think anyone would listen to a full episode of ours.
I think our average was like 6 minutes. It's not bad.
What's a,
Kind of like,
That's almost 50%. It was only 17 minutes.
I suppose,
Yeah.
if you put it that way.
Pretty good.
the 6-minute guys.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Stallions.
Sometimes 6 minutes is a long time in some situations.
I guess so.
All right, hop into safety right away.
Yeah,
What are we talking about this week?
whatever you want.
Oh boy.
I'll give you a little safety, not really a safety tip or trick. This is from an old trucker that's out in the shop. So shout out
Oh,
to
boy.
John. No, what John does in the winter, he's got a boot warmer in his truck. All of our trucks have inverters, so it's pretty easy to do. Has his boot warmer there, and he's got a couple sets of gloves. So he'll throw them on warmer, working with gloves. If they get cold or wet, swap them out, warm gloves, keeps right on going. Kind of a cool little
Yeah.
trick.
What else you got for winter tips or tricks? I know a lot of the guys have ice cleats. Not only do they help you get your job done, but they help prevent slips, trips, and falls, which are the biggest, category of issues that every employee has, I think.
Well, this was our first week, really, of the season that we encountered heavy snow, central U.S.
Yeah.
And we had some drivers caught in it. And I think the biggest thing is just be prepared.
How would you prepare? I mean, if it were you, now,
warm
let me back
clothes.
up. Not if it were you. You would go with a couple
A
candy
Snickers
bars.
and
yeah.
Snickers and a bottle of Mountain
But
Dew.
like as a driver, how can you prepare for this? I mean, do you expect the worst and just hope it's better? Do you plan a couple extra days of groceries? What do you do?
Well, I mean, we had a couple guys leave early,
Yep.
right? Which was awesome. We did have a couple people get caught in it.
Yep.
And really, at the end of the day, if it's unsafe to drive, stop.
Yeah, don't. It's not worth it.
But be prepared. Have some food, some extra clothes. Depending on how mechanically inclined you are, you can have or carry a fuel filter. Somebody can always change that.
Right.
If you guys run diesel additive, have that or run blended fuel.
What about your tanks? Obviously,
We
don't run
always-
them down
yeah,
empty.
at least over half.
Right.
Condensation. A shovel's always, there's collapsible shovels,
Right.
there's cat litter, there's chains you can put in your tire or on your tires to get out of a bad situation. But just be prepared. Just
Yep.
just like you in your passenger vehicle.
Warm clothes, all that kind of stuff. It's amazing how many people, not only like normal drivers, I mean, what I mean by that is like normal cars, trucks, passenger cars, yes. Like go down the road without a set of jumper cables, without an extra set of gloves, without, just a normal.
In their house slippers.
Right.
Right.
Or you leave without $20 in your pocket or whatever that may be. Carrying an extra screwdriver, carrying a flashlight, all
Car
those
charger?
things. Yeah. Know where those things are or your spare tire. Where's your spare tire? The wrench and all those things that you think aren't important until you actually need to do it.
Right.
Just be prepared. Do whatever you can to be prepared.
And if anybody has any other tips or tricks,
Yeah,
we'd
share
love to
them
hear
below.
them.
We'll pass them on to our guys and send them out in our tip of the week or whatever that may be. And if it helps one person out, it's done its job, right?
Absolutely.
What else? Anything?
I heard you had a word of the week
I do.
that I don't know what it is.
Oh, I don't know if you know what it is or not. Do you have any crazy stories before we get into that? Do you have any crazy stories of like winter things that have happened that you've heard of, like old trucker stories?
I had one.
Let's hear it. Oh, I remember that.
A car got on. It was snowing,
You were coming back
heavy.
from out west.
and a car I think got on the ramp. I don't exactly remember, but it was covered in snow, like 2-3 feet on top of it. There was snow blowing everywhere, and it had to be doing 10, 15 miles an hour, and I didn't see it right away. It was dark, and once I did see it, I hit the brakes, and it wasn't working. So I looked to my left, and there was a stake truck in the left lane flying by me, and long story short, we went 3 wide out on a 2-lane highway,
Yeah.
4-lane highway. But
That's crazy.
yeah, that was scary. I think I went around them on the right-hand side, and they didn't even know I was there. They shouldn't have been out there.
Well, no one should have been at
Well-
that thing, right?
And obviously I was going too fast if I couldn't stop, right?
Right.
But thankfully,
Nothing happened.
yeah.
I heard an old story. Guy that I know that was hauling potatoes, they got into a bad snowstorm out in Montana or something like that, and there was 20 or 30 cars backed up in this snowstorm, and they didn't get out for like 2 or 3 days, and they all survived off the potatoes in the back of the reefer,
It's pretty neat.
which is cool. But,
Yeah.
yeah, that's all I have. If you have a cool story, share one below.
Stuart was caught in Canada,
Pulling people out.
and he was
That's right.
pulling people out
Yeah.
of the truck stop because he was the only one that was able to move.
do it. Yeah, you had chains and
Can you I can see Stuart doing that in my head. I can envision him.
Oh, I could see him on the front page of the newspaper.
That's exactly
Right.
what I'm talking about.
Right.
Like,
but like
yes.
he's got a heart of gold.
That's what I mean. Like I can see him doing that.
Yeah.
That's so
I
funny.
remember you guys telling me. I was like, "What?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's pulling people out at the truck stop." Okay.
Yeah. The tow trucks weren't even moving. That's how bad it was, and he was just yanking people out. Up in Canada too, of all places. Like,
Oh my God, that's funny.
so you want to hear my word of the day?
Yeah. Let's
If you
hear
know it, don't answer it.
Okay.
Let's see if Taylor knows it. If you don't know it, give me a guess.
Guess. Okay.
Cheese wagon. You know it, don't you? No,
I could take a stab at
We
it.
did
but
this one.
I don't think we did. If we did, I apologize, but I don't remember doing it.
I've heard.
I don't remember yesterday.
I don't remember what it is, but I've heard it. I thought we used it in this room.
Do you have a guess?
I don't.
You have to have a guess.
Reefer that hauls cheese, a milk tanker.
Okay. No.
Yeah.
Taylor,
I don't know, like the milk truck that goes to your house.
does that still happen?
I don't know.
Like the Lamer's Dairyman.
I didn't know if this was a dated term.
Are you going to tell everybody or are you going to make
Yeah.
them guess? Okay.
I'm gonna tell everyone. School bus,
Because it's yellow.
because it's yellow,
And
and I assume the windows look like cheese, kind of.
Did not know that one.
Yeah.
Good job.
So
Good job.
stumped you.
That was exhilarating.
Super exhilarating. Do we want to hit on like a couple other things before we get into the topic, like with the credentials we were talking about and a couple
Just
overlooked
kind of-
things?
Sure, yeah, another kind of tip.
Yeah.
Another thing that's kind of overlooked or forgotten about easily
Super easy.
are your credentials. And what we mean are your driver's license, your FedMed card, your TWIC card if you have one.
Yep. Your wallet, your fuel card, your truck keys, your
Everything,
credit card,
yeah.
everything.
It's very easy to you go home for the weekend and leave it there. Just make sure you have it.
A lot of guys, what we do is we'll take a copy of everything and keep it in our permit book. Or I know you keep a separate wallet. You got your trucking wallet and your everyday wallet. Whatever works is just as long as you have it. You don't want to be 800 miles away before you realize, oh crap, I don't have anything. And thankfully, in today's day and age, there's ways to get around things. But
I've got another tip.
okay, let's hear it.
It's cold. We have trailers that sit in our yard that don't get used. Make sure you check to make sure all your wheels are spinning when you're pulling a trailer. What can happen is the shoes can get frozen to the drum, and either you heat them up with a little torch like I carry, or a hammer if you have to. But if you don't do that, you flat spot tires, and that can be,
Costly.
yeah.
What about shoveling off like your trailer so there's not like snow or ice blowing off of them, those kind of things? I think that's just unwritten, but
It's an interesting topic to me. I feel like it's your responsibility to do so. But what happens if you're a van carrier and you pick up a van that's parked at a warehouse and you've seen where it blows off the roof and the snow is this tall? What liability do you have as the driver for the motoring public? Is that an act of God? I don't know that answer.
I often thought that, I don't know if this exists, and if someone gets rich off this idea and it doesn't exist, I often thought this was a really good idea. We have like automatic car washes, right? Mm-hmm. Where you could drive a car through it and cleans it. Why can't there be something that you have over your driveway for us northern carriers that's got just a big bristle on it that when you drive by it just
They have
pulls it
that.
up? They do?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah. And we're actually making something for our flatbeds.
how are you going to do that?
Remember that overhead crane that
Yes.
we have? We're going to make that into something like that and to pull the snow out from underneath the trailers so guys don't get stuck when they back under them.
Smart.
So
Cool.
repurposing.
Someone had my idea,
It's $1 million idea though.
right? Probably.
Yeah. How about a big fan like they have at the car wash? Would that be better?
What about if we
And a
just
heater?
parked everything inside?
That would be fantastic.
That would be awesome.
I think we need a bigger wallet though.
Yeah, hopefully this podcast takes off, huh? Take a minute here before we get into the topic. If you guys can like and subscribe, it helps. We appreciate everyone that's listening.
We do.
Continue to listen. We want to do our first shout out to a person.
Sure. You
Who do
need to
wanna
liven
shout out?
up.
Who I do?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
I feel like I'm pretty alive.
Okay.
I agree. See, want that attitude.
Who do we want to shout out?
Adam.
Adam. Your
Adam
cousin?
Faust. Yeah. I know he's going to listen.
Oh,
And
he
if he's-
listened.
if
He
he's
shared it.
not-
I think he was the first one to share the old.
If he doesn't listen, I don't know what's going to happen, but I'll be.
He's out.
I.
He's out with us.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Done.
Done. Unfriending you. All right, my shout out, I guess, would have to be Pete Hippus.
Pete Hippus.
I know he's still listening.
Yeah.
He's excited.
Pete cares.
He cares tremendously.
We love you, Pete.
Yeah. He made me a sweet cribbage board.
He did. Those were cool. I actually just played a game of cribbage on it 2 weekends ago. Yeah.
Nice.
So,
And don't forget Bushburger.
oh, Bushburger.
Yep. Jeff.
I have to call him back. He called me the other day, and I was super busy. You weren't here. He called here, and I talked to him for like 2 minutes, and the phone was going nuts, and I told him I'd call him back, and I forgot.
Way to
Sorry,
go.
Jeff.
All right. What's your topic?
It's more of a topic / statement,
Okay.
and I want to dive into a couple things. They are not only working for.
Well, hold
But-
on. One thing we forgot to say is we were sick of sitting on the floor. So Travis and John hooked us up with air to our seats. now.
Yeah, they're air ride.
So thanks, guys. It's much more comfortable.
Yeah.
And anyway, that was
Ergonomical, I think, is the medical term
There you go.
for the chairs.
sure.
Yeah. So, topic I want to cover is not only working for, but choosing a company that cares. And I don't mean that solely just cares for you, but cares for everything that encompasses the business. You can say that in a sense of the equipment, the people, the image, the customers, whatever that may say. And there's a lot that goes into that. Let's use dispatch for an example.
Okay.
You could be a driver, and you could have a dispatcher that, for this example, doesn't care. And what I mean by that is they just take a load. They don't ask the questions that they need to ask. They don't relay all the information. You're calling for pickup numbers. And I'm not saying that happens all the time. Or you could have a guy that actually does, dispatcher, that actually does care. Hey, is there any special directions that the driver needs to know when they get there? What
Which
are your loading
entrance?
hours? When do you guys take lunch? Okay, I'm going to have my driver stop because he's going to get there during your lunch. He can plan his day better. Those types of little things go a long way.
And it helps. I mean, it number one, it's more efficient.
Right.
Maybe not in the office if you're doing the work. That
Right.
takes time and money, but it helps the driver on the road.
Right.
And in some instances, it protects your customer too. So
100%.
they're not dealing with
Idiots.
somebody in the wrong area.
Right.
Yeah, I think there's
There's a huge value in that. Now you can amplify that across every part of an organization. You could take that to people.
any organization.
Right. Any organ. It doesn't necessarily even have to be trucking, but
Yep.
you could take that to people. Are we putting our drivers in the best spot that we can? What does that mean? What does that mean in your opinion?
Putting them in the best position.
Yeah.
Information is knowledge, right?
Right.
Time is money. All whatever cliche you want to use.
Right.
It matters. It may not matter to everyone, but it matters to me.
But what are those things that matter to you? Like if you were a driver.
If I'm a driver,
Yeah.
I want to know what I'm picking. Well, we're at a little bit a different industry, right? If I'm going with a reefer and I'm going to pick up cheese, I need to know what temperature it needs to be at.
And your pickup number.
That's about it.
And your appointment time.
Right. In our world, in the flatbed world, I want to know what I'm picking up, what commodity, if there's any picture, if it's a load of lumber's pretty standard, right?
Right.
But if I'm picking up a machine, how am I going to secure it? Chains, straps, what have you? Is it going to get tarped? Receiving hours, is there parking on site? I don't know, just to me, all basic standard stuff, but
A lot of people don't get that.
a lot
mean,
of people get a piece of paper and say, call
look
me
at-
when there's an issue.
Right. Look at the guys that we transload out of the yard sometimes. I mean, half of them have no idea where they're even going.
Right,
How do you
right.
why would you want to work for someone like that? So that's what I meant when I'm a company that cares.
Remember the last guy that came in here? Great guy. He was a day early, and
Yeah.
he needed to get home to Alabama for Christmas.
Chicago, I think.
No,
right?
Alabama. I talked
it?
to him, and he was on the phone with his wife saying, "I don't know if I don't know if I'm going to get home.
Right.
I'm not supposed to be here till tomorrow."
Yeah.
And we helped him out. We got him unloaded,
And- yeah.
and he was super thankful. But
His
why
dispatcher put the
sucked.
well. Yeah,
would you do that?
He sucked 100%. But the load was scheduled to pick up on a Friday and deliver Monday.
In our yard.
Correct. And we would have came in on Saturday to unload the guy if we had to, if they would have called. But the driver picked up on Thursday and
Because
came
it
in-
was ready.
well, and because his dispatch told him to. If you looked at the rate con he got, the dispatch just completely lied to the driver. I mean, how do you keep guys? I know how hard it is. You know how hard it is to hire a driver or any employee. Why do people stay at companies like that? I don't get it.
I don't know.
I don't. I'm not saying we're perfect.
I think there's a certain number of people within the populace that it's a job, and they're unfortunately they're gonna endure like until it gets so bad.
Yeah, but wouldn't you like? Is that why these people have 37 different jobs every?
Well, people talk about culture,
Right.
and I was in an interview. I was interviewing somebody the other day, and they said, "So, what's your culture?" I'm like, I don't know if I can really answer that. And after she left, I'm like, man, I felt really, really stupid. What is our culture? Our culture is we get the job done, and we
At all
work together.
costs.
And I don't know what our culture is, but if you look at a company like the Green Machine that we really respect,
Yep.
and you've got long-term employees there, and they will do whatever needs to get done. The other day, I mean, trucking's kind of a pretty macho thing, and we had two guys hugging in the lobby, right?
Right,
Like, hey, I
yeah.
haven't seen you guys or seen you in a long
Yeah.
time, and I think it was you who said you don't see that.
No,
anywhere.
you don't. I mean, it's truly a family atmosphere, but a bond as well. It's more than just a job. And like I said, I don't want this. I don't want this going 100% to us because that's
Yeah, no.
our biggest concern. But I think that is a testament to everyone does care. Take that to the shop. Do we need to service the vehicles every 10,000 miles? The trucks? No, we don't. but we do it because we care. Yes, is it an inconvenience that every month or month and a half guys have to come in to get their truck serviced? Yeah, probably. But we do our best to plan it when they're coming home. And if it goes over a couple thousand miles or a couple hundred miles, whatever, we make some concessions, right?
And then we take the time and fix things before they
Look it
become a
over,
problem, and
give the
so they're
truck a
not
wash.
broken down on the road.
Right. It saves you time in the long run. Take that with the equipment. Do we run things until they absolutely need repair? No. If we notice something, we repair it. Is there an expense to that? Yes, but the expense up front is less than what it is when it's on the road or when it doesn't matter. Money doesn't matter in a sense of then breakdowns don't happen at convenient times.
Right.
That could be a guy trying to get home for his daughter's graduation. We don't want to, hey, if you would have just replaced this tire 3 months ago when we said,
Right.
I don't ever want someone saying that.
If we can not put you in a bad position.
Right.
Right?
But
We're going to do that.
Stuff is going to happen. That's with anything. That could be a copy machine. That could be whatever that may be. But if we can take the time and, I guess, care and fix those things or try to do whatever we can, when those mishaps happen, people are more receptive to them and we can have conversation. It doesn't happen all the time, but when it does, hey, I know it's a crappy situation, but we're going to do whatever we can to get through it. People respect that.
I'll take that one step farther in benefits.
Yeah.
How much time do we put into benefits? And you can't possibly make everybody happy.
No.
But you can do the best you can with what you have. And I mean, benefits are difficult, stressful, a lot of work, whatever. But, you hope somebody appreciates what you are able to provide.
Right.
And just another form of caring, I guess.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. That was just, do you have anything else on there? Any other
I
examples?
feel like this got really deep.
It did, but I just think, to me, it's important. It may not be important to anyone else, but it is to me, because I can go to bed at night knowing that we've done whatever we could. Like I said, we're not perfect, but we're putting people in great positions. Guys
To
are
be
buying
successful.
Guys are buying their first houses here. Guys are buying their first nice vehicle here. I want to say everyone's not living paycheck to paycheck, but some people, they're on a good path to not be there. You can't control everything, right? But it's just nice to know that everyone here does care.
Yeah,
So,
that's awesome.
yeah.
You can feel it when you walk in.
Yeah.
Back to your culture thing. You almost have to come here to understand it. But it's pretty evident once you come into the building, just as an outsider.
Well, thanks, Taylor.
You bet.
What else? I feel like, I don't know.
I thought you were going to be a ball of fire today.
I
And
am.
I'm not saying this is like a bad topic or anything, but I'm like, wow, this is.
No,
That
it was
was-
just
You're
important.
going to shed a
up,
tear?
No, not at
Oh,
all.
okay.
I woke up. Now you're making me doubt myself.
Don't get in your head. Don't get in your head.
I woke up last night. I'm like, oh, that'd be a really good topic. We
Yeah.
should do it. And we always struggle with coming up with topics.
Hey, for 2025, as the year goes on, it's harder to find companies like that. So I think it's a
Right.
good thing to talk
I
about
mean, people
because
don't understand it. Like, that's the part that I struggle with as an employee. You may not see this, but why? I'm gonna
Here we go.
I'm gonna back up a second.
Slow down.
Take a deep breath. Why would you go work for someone that doesn't fucking care? Why do people do it?
Maybe they care in a different way.
What
Maybe
could that
it's
be?
For some people, it's that the amount on that paycheck.
we had.
I get it, but look,
we had a guy quit because he wanted a big shiny truck and no speed limits. Right?
Oh, yeah.
That's what was ideal to him.
Yep.
100%. 100%.
That's what he
that
cared
kid was
about.
also 21 years old or 22 years old, whatever the hell he was.
That's where it starts, though, and then it snowballs, and then he's thinking like
Yeah.
that in 20 years, maybe in a different way, but he's not thinking about the things that matter, like you guys are talking about.
Why would you? Yeah. Why would you work? And I'm going to say discount carrier, and that's the wrong wrong word. Why would you make doing the same job? Why would you go to work to make half the amount of money? I challenge anyone.
Loyalty?
But are they? They're jumping jobs every 15
That's fair. Yeah.
weeks, whatever that may be.
We get applications and people have.
The record, 36 jobs in the past 10 years.
Is that nuts, Taylor?
36 jobs.
You almost have to like want to do it. You almost have to like set out.
That's
like,
almost 4 jobs a year. Once a quarter.
Yeah, it's one thing to have like 4 within like 1 year,
he
but
likes
to do
change.
that over and over and over again. Yeah,
How do you ever,
Get ahead.
or, maybe they're searching for something, and they just haven't found it yet.
What? What are you? Yeah, I don't know.
Some people don't wanna climb a ladder.
I understand there's going to be people of all aspects of this, but the majority of people, I would like to think, they're looking for a place that they can call home. Taylor, when you look for a job, what's your first plan of action?
Well, the first thing I would like, have I heard anyone that I know talk about this company? Because in-person referrals are usually your best. In my experience, the best thing to go off of. But I don't know. Next to that, like I want to go in there because I don't know. I think I'm pretty good at feeling out a place, and like I'm immediately gonna know like, oh yeah, I'm gonna feel cool here, or I can feel the people walking on eggshells type thing. So I don't know. For me, it's being there in person, I guess, because you can only find out so much online. People can bullshit.
Well, 100%. You can read reviews, you can do whatever you can, but like you're right. And I get people are in different walks of life. A 22-year-old kid may have different priorities than someone in their 30s or someone in their 40s, someone in their 50s. But in the grand scheme of things, would you really go to work if someone was just treating you dog shit bad?
Depends. Were you brought up like that? Because then you're used to it.
I suppose.
I have to imagine a lot of people stay in
that way.
shitty job situations because they had some type of shitty upbringing. And it's like, no, that's just the way life.
Where they think it's normal.
Yep, that's life. That's the way it is.
So how do you make it not normal? That would help with raising the bar in this industry. Sitting on the side of the road on Christmas, we had everyone home for Christmas.
Yep.
Drivers, now I get everyone can't, and some people don't want to be home for Christmas. Maybe everyone parked at the truck stop wanted to be running. But how do you get to that point where this industry starts to realize that the bar needs to be here rather than here? Why is this allowed? Because that's the battle that every carrier that's trying to do the right thing is fighting.
I don't think I can answer that.
I can't either, but I don't know. Sorry for my rant.
No, it's interesting because you're right. Our industry isn't like many others.
It's
I mean,
not.
there's a lot of construction that travels
Right.
and are away from home and salespeople and different walks of life. But yeah, why? I mean, I remember I had a guy working for us, and he moved away, but he worked for a large company, and he said he would pull in the yard home, and he would get on his Qualcomm, hey, in 34 hours, this is what you're doing. Obviously,
Not even a phone call?
no,
Right. Like,
right.
I don't get it.
Obviously, he moved on, but that's how some of these people are treated, and it's crap.
It's horrible. Like, there's crappy parts of every job. Every job in this country has something that is not desirable at times. You can't get around that. That's just part of life. Every life has it too. But if you allow that to keep happening, it's only going to encourage that behavior. And if it happens to one, it's going to happen to two. And if it happens to two, it's going to happen to four, right?
Right. And once you find something, really think twice about it. Maybe the grass isn't always greener.
Yeah. What do you always say? The
Grass is greener where you water it. Yeah. So,
But I don't know. That was my 2 a.m. thought that I woke up with.
well, it was good.
don't know.
It was good.
Go from there.
So,
What else we got?
think that was a good way to end it. It was
Yeah.
a good way to kind of close it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll be back next week.
Perfect.
I think maybe we'll do some trivia next week.
Trivia.
So we'll have to come up with something
Another
good.
word.
Another word.
What if someone has
What
a topic?
was the
What should-
word? It was school bus was the answer.
Cheese wagon.
What is a cheese wagon? So what was your question?
I said, what should someone? Well, I'll just say it. I was gonna have you say it, but if you have any questions or topics you want covered, leave them below. Like and subscribe, share, and see you next week.
See you next week.
Later, y'all.